The Haftarah to Parshas Sisa is one of the most powerful, captivating, and dynamic stories in the whole Tanakh. It's a story involving Eliyahu Hanavi, and the background to the story is as follows. In the time of the king Achav and Queen Izebel, the wicked kings of the north of Israel, idol worship was dominating the Jewish people. Many of the Jewish prophets were either killed or threatened to be killed and had to go into hiding. Eliyahu Hanavi brought about a drought because the Jews were sinning, and he had to go into hiding himself. At some point he decides, it's time to reveal myself, and let's have a showdown. Let's bring all the Jewish people to Har HaKarmel, and we're going to have a showdown. Me, the Navi representing Hashem, and the 450 prophets of one Avodah Zarah and 450 prophets of the other. The two popular Avodah Zarahs each had 100 of prophets representing them. And Eliyahu Hanavi said, we're going to have a showdown. I'll read you some of the psukim as they capture the soul of the story. Eliyahu Hanavi comes to the Jews out of hiding, and he says, Jews, Ad masai atem peischem ashtei asefim. How long are you going to live with jumping between both sides of the fence? Choose your side. Im Hashem lechu acharav, if you're going to believe in Hashem, follow him. Im habal lechu acharav, or if you're going to choose the Avodah Zarah of Baal, follow him. Ani neisarti la Hashem levadi, I'm the only man that's really willing to represent Hashem, and there's hundreds of those representing Avodah Zarah. So here's what the showdown is going to be. V'yitnu lanu shnei parim, give us 2 cows. You choose, you, the prophets of Avodah Zarah, you choose your cow, and I'll choose my cow. You bring it up as a karban, and call to your gods, put it on a mizbeach, put it on an altar, just don't light a fire, you can't light a fire. Call your gods and wait for the fire to come down from heaven. And then I'll put my cow on the altar, I'll call to my God and wait for the fire to come down from heaven. Those that serve Avodah Zarah, he says, you're the majority, you could go first. They bring up their karban and they wait there all day calling to their God, and no fire comes. Eliyahu starts mocking them and says, maybe your God is sleeping, call louder. And they start calling louder, doing strange customs of cutting themselves and gashing themselves, but to no avail. At which point Eliyahu Hanavi brings his cow, puts it on top of the mizbeach, tells the Jews they could come take water and pour it on top of this mizbeach, and there started becoming puddles of water around the mizbeach. And at the time of Mincha, Eliyahu Hanavi says, Hashem Elokei Avram, Yitzchak v'Yaakov, Hashem, God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, Hayom Yivada Ki Ata Elokim b'Yisrael. Today it's going to be known that you are the God of Israel, V'ani Avdecha, and I am your servant. Aneni Hashem, Aneni, Hashem, answer me, and the Jewish people will see you and know you. And at that point a fire came down from heaven and ate the karban and the water that was on the karban. At that point the Jews, Vayar ha'am, the nation saw, Vayiplu al pneihem, they fell on their face, Vayemru, and they said, Hashem hu ha'alekim, Hashem hu ha'alekim, Hashem is the God, Hashem is the God, as we say at the Ne'ilah prayer. This is the story, the beautiful, captivating story of the Haftarah. On this, the Medrash records that there was actually a conversation that happened between Eliyahu Hanavi and the cows. And this is the background. Again, I'll read the Medrash. B'shasha Amar Eliyahu levdei Abal, Bachru lechem hapara echad, va'asur rishayna ki atem arabim, niskabtu 450 nevi'ei habal, ו450 nevi'ei ha'ashera, v'la yachlu lazuz esur aglav min ha'aretz. When Eliyahu said that you, the prophets of the idols, come choose your cow, they came to a cow to try to pull it with them, and it wouldn't budge. Ra maksiv sham vayinu lanu shnayim parim vayivchel lehem apara echad veinatchu veyasim al eitzim veish leyasimu vaniasas apara echad ve'anatcheyu veish leyasim. Ma asa Eliyahu? What did Eliyahu do? Amar lahem bachru shnei parim toimim me'em achas. What we should do is, let's go now to 2 twin cows. Hagdelim amira echad, who grew up on one pasture and who were born from one mother. Va'atilu aleim geireles. Let's set lots. Echad Lashem, one will go to Hashem and one will go to Baal. They chose their cow. The cow of Elijah, the cow of Eliyahu Navi, followed him immediately. The cow that was going to Avodah Zarah, again, they came to take the other twin cow and it wouldn't move. Until Eliyahu went over to the cow and said, Lechi mahim, go with them. Heshavapar, the cow answered, V'amar lai la'enei chol ha'am, the cow answered to the eyes of all the people, Ani v'chaveri yitzanu mibeten achas. It's not fair. Me and my friend came from one stomach, came from one womb. Mipara achas, from one mother. V'gadalnu b'mira echad, we were raised on one pasture. Yet he gets to go be served to Hashem, and he will bring a kiddush Hashem. God's name will be sanctified through him. I'm going to the portion of idol worship, to upset my Creator. That's not fair. Amar Eliyahu told him, Par, cow, al tira, do not worry, lechi mahem, you should go with them. Aval Yimsu Alila, don't give them the excuse to back out of this showdown. Just like the cow that I'm going to be bringing will be sanctifying God's name. So shall you be sanctifying God's name. Go with them. Amar Lai, the cow said back, you're giving me this advice? Shvua, I take an oath. Eni zaz mikan, I'm not going to leave from here until you give me to them. That's why it says that they took the cow that Eliyahu gave them, and only when Eliyahu Hanavi was willing to give this cow to the prophets of Avodah Zarah did he go with them. There's a couple questions on this medrash and this conversation between the cow and Eliyahu Hanavi. It seems like the cow knew that it wasn't just going to Avodah Zarah, like that he was going to really upset God, because he wasn't bothered by the fact that he was going to Avodah Zarah. He was only bothered to the contrast of him and his brother. Why is it that my brother gets to go to Hashem and I have to go to Avodah Zarah? If he thought he was really doing something wrong, he should have said, I don't want to do something wrong. It seems like he knew he was doing something good, just he didn't like the fact that he was doing the Avodah Zarah part of the showdown, and his brother was doing the godly part of the showdown. So if that's the case, what did Eliyahu Hanavi tell the cow that he didn't already know? He says, just like this cow will be proving God's presence, you'll also be proving God's presence by showing that idol worship is nothing. But the cow already knew that. So what was Eliyahu Hanavi adding to the cow that the cow itself didn't know? And whatever Eliyahu Hanavi did tell the cow, did he accept it or not? If what Eliyahu Hanavi said appeased the cow, then he should have just agreed to be taken by the prophets. And if what Eliyahu Hanavi said did not appease the cow, why did he say that if you send me, I'm going to go? It seems like Eliyahu Hanavi told him something that he said that will only make it right for him to be sent by Elijah, but not be right to be pulled by the Nevi'ei Habal. That's the question. And the explanation, the beautiful explanation to this conversation goes as follows. The cow knew he had an important mission. He was going to go with the idol worshippers to prove that there's nothing there, and yes, he will be proving God's existence. Yet it's still not fair. God's existence is proved in clean godliness, and God's existence is also proved when one climbs out of darkness. But why is it fair? Me and my brother grew up from the same mother, in the same schools, on the same pasture, in the same community, yet he's the one that has it easy and proves God's existence through light, and I'm going to have this mission of proving God through bumping my head in the dark. My brother gets to prove God from closeness, and I have to prove God from a distance. My brother gets the cleaner, more godly path, and I get the less godly path. Yeah, I know it's important, but don't tell me that my connection to Hashem through disproving idol worship is the same as serving Hashem and proving Hashem through closeness to Him. And to that, Eliyahu Hanavi is answering, yes, it is. Maybe from rational glasses, maybe from the glasses of a human being, or the way we see things, we obviously want to choose the path of light over the path of darkness. But from God's essence, which is infinite and can't be tapped in light or dark, He's the God of both. He's completely present both in light and in dark. And just like you could find Him in light, you could find Him in dark. Kishem, just like the cow that I'm going to be bringing will be proving God's existence, so too you, the cow of the dark, is proving Hashem's existence in the exact same way. The Jew that's the shlichus, the role that one plays in proving God in godliness, proves Hashem the same way. The role of one who has to keep bumping his head and disproving the fallacy of this world. And the cow heard that, but he says, if that's the case, that our shlichus is the same, we need to reframe this story. I can't be taken by them. That will make me seem like I'm a victim. I exist in a dark circumstances. I'm a victim of the dark, and I need to live to try to make my way out of it. Don't make me be taken by them. You send me to them. Just like there's a shlichus of those that exist in light, it seems like you're telling me that I'm also on a shlichus of light. I'm on a shlichus of God. So don't make me a victim of their choosing. You send me to them, because the way you're telling what you're telling me is I'm not living a shlichus of dark. I am proving God's light just as much as the other cow, and therefore I'm not willing to be taken by them. But according to what you're telling me now, the story must be that you send me to them. And for that, the cow was willing to go. How often is this the story of our own lives? This conversation of Eliyahu and the cow. We look around and we see how our classmates thrive and we struggle, or our neighbors' children and lives and marriages and shlichus and lot in life seems to be that of light, and ours is that of dark. And we wonder, yeah, I know that everyone has their mission and everyone has their chelek and everyone has what they have to do, but it's not fair. We grew up the same. We were in the same school. We had the same group of friends. Why does this one have it so easy? Why does this one get to prove Hashem through such a shlichus of light, and I have to prove Hashem through a shlichus of dark? Why does this one get to prove Hashem through success, and this one through failure? Why this one through happiness, and this one through heartbreak? Why does this one get to see God from up close, and I get to see God from far, from a distance? And to that, Eliyahu Hanavi says, par. Don't think that you're given any secondary shlichus and that you're seeing God from a distance. The exact same way, with the exact same truth, from Hashem's glasses, if we put on the glasses of God's essence, just like this cow is proving Hashem's existence, you are proving and bringing Hashem's light to the world the exact same way. So yes, as the cow finished the sentence, don't think that you're stuck in a dark life, or a secondary, not good life, that you just need to make do and figure out a way of finding meaning over there. But a Jew is a ray of light, and just like there's rays of light that come out in sunlight, there are UV rays that come out specifically when it's dark and the sun is blocked. And you are not living a dark life trying to make the best of it. You are a ray of light that's been sent to a dark space to bring light over there as well. The same light that exists by the cow of Elijah exists in the cow that is sent to the dark space. And you're living no less of a shlichus. You're doing a job no less important and no less radiant. In fact, you're proving God's existence the exact same way. You're not a victim of a dark circumstance, but you are a shliach, God's messenger and ambassador to a dark space. The most powerful rays of light reach the darkest, furthest spaces. So maybe you have something to offer even that the first cow does not. And this is the way we need to frame our lives and see the dark situations we find ourselves in. We are not victims of the prophets of idol worship. We have not been sucked in by the dark, but we have been sent by God to a dark place to make it light. Sent on shlichus. I'll end with an interesting story. I know this is longer than usual, but this brings the point home. There's a joke/anecdote a famous Rav once shared about the Lubavitcher Rebbe's approach. He says there's 3 Jews pass away. They find themselves in Gehenna. They've been given a verdict. They've made some mistakes and sins. They have to go to purgatory, to hell. And the first Jew says, "Give me my Rebbe." And a Breslover Jew, Reb Nachman Breslov, comes to him and says, "Did you grow your payas?" "Yes, I did." "Did you learn our Tyrus? Tikkun Klali, the Kutim Aran?" "Yes, I did." "Okay, give me your payas." He takes him and he schleps him out of purgatory. The second Chassid comes and says, "Give me my Rebbe." And his Rebbe comes and says, "Have you kept our minhagim?" "Yes, I have." "Have you worn a lavush?" "Yes." "Did you come to the Tish?" "Yes." "Have you learned our Tyrus and Chak Yisrael?" "Yes, I have." "Okay, come. I'll grab you by your strimer, I'll grab you by your lavush, and I'll take you out." The third chassid says, the Lubavitcher chassid says, "Bring me my Rebbe." The Rebbe comes, says, "Have you been a good chassid? Have you learned chitas?" "Yes, I have." "Rambam?" "Yes, I have." "Have you gone to Miftzayim?" "Yes, I have." "Have you brought close other Jews?" "Yes, I have." And the Rebbe goes and gives him $1 in purgatory and says, "Good luck on your shlichus in purgatory. Good luck on your holy mission over here to turn it into heaven." The ultimate approach is realizing that no matter where a Jew finds himself, even in purgatory, even if it seems like hell, that he is not a victim of a negative circumstance that will only find meaning and will only find God when he escapes. He himself is a walking ray, a walking ambassador of God, a shliach of Elijah, and he's sent to make that space itself heaven and godliness. Have a great Shabbos.